A former restaurant goes up in flames. The special challenges this abandoned building created for firefighters.
A Burger King brawl in the middle of a food court. What sparked the chair-tossing conflict?
What do we want to play with our friends? Well, we can't because they're shooting out there, shooting kids.
The incident that sparked this 6-year-old's fiery viral speech.
Fox 45 News at 10 starts now.
First tonight, breaking news out of Baltimore County.
A big fire tonight at the site of the former Macaroni Grill. Here's a look at the flames as they tore through that building earlier this evening. You can see it was quite a fire that was raging there in the Timonium area this evening.
Wow. Keith Daniels is live from the scene right now. Keith, what can you tell us about this fire?
Well, Kai, still a very active scene here. Now, again, the building is vacant. This business shut down for some time, at least a year. But again, crews have knocked down the fire here, but they're monitoring those hot spots that can pop up at any time. Now, the roof has collapsed. They're continuing to pour water inside. Again, the fire under control. But earlier, there were tremendous flames. Some of the pictures like these sent from our viewers. Now, firefighters got the call just after 6 o'clock this evening. When crews arrived, they found heavy fire and black smoke coming from the roof. The vacant building engulfed in flames. Now, people passing by stopped and looked.
We come up and there's no flames visible yet. Then we start seeing it come out the roof. And the more they hit the fire with the hose, the spongier it got. And we just saw the whole thing like collapse in. And a little after that, the side wall started buckling outwards, and then that ended up collapsing too.
Well, the collapsing walls and roof forced firefighters to attack this blaze from the outside. Fortunately, there are no injuries. Now, if we look this way, you can see where they have shut down the roads, the streets in the area, surrounding area. So if you have to come this way, you may want to avoid this area. Again, streets are shut down and they are diverting traffic. Now, the cause of the fire under investigation. Meantime, the chief says crews are expected to be here long into the night because, again, they are monitoring those hot spots. We're live now in Timonium. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
All right, Keith, thank you. Here's another look at the fire, this one from our tower cam. The smoke from this fire could be seen from miles. In fact, it billowed, then drifted quite a distance away from that fire.
A lot of people saw this fire and took pictures of it. Here are a few sent to us from Mike in Hunt Valley. You can see the flames shooting up there and the cloud of smoke going into the sky. You can see more of the viewer pictures that have been sent in to us by going to foxbaltimore.com.
Remember, you can always send us your photos and videos. Open up your Fox 45 News app and click See It, Send It. We might show them live during our newscast.
Well, this is the second big fire in Baltimore County today.
This was breaking news on Fox 45 News at 5 o'clock. A house fire in Lansdowne. This one started just before 4 o'clock in the basement of a home on Ridge Avenue. Firefighters did try to go inside of the home, but that didn't last long.
Once they went in, the stairs gave way, and that caused them to retreat, to evacuate. Once they evacuated, they went into a defensive mode where they attacked the fire from the outside.
Now, one firefighter suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene. No word on a cause.
Now to a hot weather warning.
Now, we just finished, of course, a cool, sometimes even damp spring, but tomorrow it will be hot. So the very air you breathe may be dangerous to some people.
Chief Meteorologist Venus Reed joining us now. Venus, how hot is it going to get?
Yeah, we're going to see those temperatures warming up across the area. In fact, today, starting out, it was a warm one out there. Highs getting up to about 80 degrees. Our normal should be 70, so we're about 10 degrees above normal. And we didn't quite break a record, but it will be warming up even more tomorrow, getting even hotter air in those mid to upper 80s. So that heat will continue to cross the area, and it looks like we'll see those temperatures getting into those mid upper 80s, but the air is a little stagnant, and that's why we have air quality alerts for the metropolitan area of Baltimore, stretching around central Maryland. So just be aware of that for folks who are a little bit sensitive. We're looking at temperatures currently at 69 degrees in Baltimore, 61 in Salisbury, 72 in Cumberland, and we'll continue to see a mild night on the way for a warm day tomorrow. I'll have a look at how long that heat will stick around and when we get some changes coming up. Back to you.
frightening scene at Arundel Mills Mall. A fight breaks out in the middle of the food court on Sunday. You can see a group of people crowding around and chairs flying through the air. 2 people now face charges after that brawl.
Jeff Abel is live tonight from Arundel Mills now. He spoke with the person who shot the video and found out why this whole thing started. Jeff.
That's right. You know, customers went running here at the mall Sunday night when that fight broke out in the food court. Tonight, it appears a Burger King customer did not get it her way.
And then just out of nowhere, I just started seeing people scream and running away with their kids.
Terry Ripley was there Sunday night when the food court at Arundel Mills Mall erupted in violence.
They were acting like animals. It was crazy. People like that, dude, take that outside. Don't take that in a place where there's kids.
Ripley captured the action and posted it online. For 1 minute and 19 seconds, what started with an argument became an all-out brawl. A chair flew, a chase ensued. And according to police, it all started when a Burger King customer became upset with a food order. And suddenly an argument grew violent.
And then they came back, 2 more guys, and they started ganging up on the one dude from Burger King, and they were throwing chairs at each other. It's awful.
Police are now charging customer Nikesha Jones with assault and her friend Rashti Mumuni with disorderly conduct.
So I just feel like they should beef up the security. And
Terry Ripley believes he's lucky to escape unharmed.
if they had guns or something like that and they didn't get there in time, it's crazy. Would have been worse.
Fortunately, however, in this case, no one was seriously hurt. We are live at Arundel Mills Mall tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
Thank you, Jeff. New tonight, a deadly motorcycle crash in Anne Arundel County that appeared to involve tree trimmers. Loveville Timber Works was removing trees in the area when one unintentionally fell into the road, striking a motorcycle heading south on Patuxent River Road. The driver was declared dead at the scene. Speed and alcohol do not appear to have played a role in this crash.
Authorities need your help to find 2 missing teenage girls. On the left is 15-year-old Kimberly Hayward. She was last seen April 3rd at her Baltimore home. She's 5'5" with brown hair and brown eyes. On the right is 16-year-old Danielle Barnhouse. She was last seen Thursday leaving Edgewood High in Harford County. She's 5'3" with hazel eyes and red hair. Anyone with information about either girl is asked to call police.
We have breaking news out of North Baltimore. A North Baltimore stabbing victim has died. Police found a man stabbed in the stomach near York and Orkney Roads. He died at the hospital. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call Metro Crime Stoppers. There were 34 homicides in April in Baltimore. That averages more than 1 homicide a day. Police say crime-fighting tactics are being adjusted to provide more coverage to high-crime areas. But police say they need the community's help.
We're getting some of those people who are responsible for this violence off the streets. But we also have to go back to what we always say. We need the public to help us.
The deadliest month on record was July of 2015 when there were 45 homicides in Baltimore City.
Baltimore City's top prosecutor stands by a controversial decision she made 3 years ago today. It was on this date Marilyn Mosby charged 6 officers in connection with Freddie Gray's death. None of the officers was convicted. However, Mosby tells Fox 45 it's a move she does not regret.
I followed the facts with the law, and I wouldn't do anything differently. Charge those that I deemed responsible, again, based upon our assessment.
Coming up later in our news, an in-depth look at how violence has devastated generations of a Baltimore family.
A 6-year-old Baltimore girl is capturing hearts around the world. She's in a video that you're about to see that's gone viral. In it, she makes a desperate plea to stop the violence.
Alexa Ashwell shows us the world through this child's eyes.
I sleep right here.
Kelsey Hines appears your average 6-year-old.
And I play over here.
But on the inside, there's a fire few have.
Why can't you just let us have fun when we want to play with our friends? Well, we can't because you're shooting out there.
Kelsey is troubled by the shootings and murders happening here in Baltimore. Just last week, asking her mother to record this video after she and her grandmother passed the scene of a triple shooting while on their way to church.
God is watching you. He does not like the way that you are treating other people.
The 4.5-minute video has since gone viral on Facebook. It's been viewed 3.8 million times and has 92,000 shares.
When it turned to 3 million, I was like, oh my gosh.
Kelsey's mother equally as shocked. The family has received hundreds of messages, people from as far away as Africa.
This guy said she brought a grown man to tears.
The mother also moved to tears.
But the way she speaks sometimes, it kind of scares me because I'm saying she's a little girl.
We want our lives to be better than this.
Wisdom in the words of a child.
The people who shoot one another, I want them to know that they need to put their guns down. That's what I really want other people to know, that I am protecting them, and so is God. God did not create this world to shoot all up.
Wow, Alexa, Kelsey, out of the mouths of babes.
She's just an amazing little girl, and I asked her if she planned to make more videos, because this one isn't her first one. She has others, but this is the first to really go viral. She said she's not sure. She simply wants people to be kind to one another.
Wow.
What a powerful story. Powerful message from such a cute little girl.
And we'll hear more from her later at 11.
Okay,
Thank you, Alexa. The ordeal of Lyme disease.
I've had a headache for 7 years now.
The other symptoms you need to look out for as tick season arrives and the simple ways you can protect yourself.
Baltimore has one of the highest crime rates in the country. Coming up, we launch a special investigation into the public safety threats plaguing the city.
And we are continuing to cover breaking news out of Baltimore County, where crews are still on the scene of a major fire. The progress firefighters are making coming up.
Prince George's County School CEO Kevin Maxwell is resigning amid mounting controversies. In a statement, Maxwell said that numerous distractions had taken a toll on county students, families, and staff. He became school CEO in 2013. Since that time, there have been several scandals, from allegations of grade changing to unauthorized pay raises. Maxwell says he will leave after this school year ends.
New reaction tonight to a possible hate crime involving students at Towson University. Baltimore County Police were called to break up a fight early Sunday morning between 5 students outside of a house just a block from campus. The victims say 2 students yelled anti-Semitic slurs at them before and during the assault.
That's awful. Like, it's the 21st century, and like, you can have, like, there's freedom of religion. And I don't think you should hate someone based on their religion.
I've heard of things like that happening before, but it's definitely bad. And at Towson, it hits close to home, you know? Yeah.
Police say because the alleged crime is second-degree assault, it's up to the victims to file charges, and as of now, they haven't done that.
Disturbing new information from the Centers for Disease Control today. Diseases transmitted by biting insects, ticks and mosquitoes in particular, have more than tripled in the United States over the past decade. Researchers say these pests have caused more than 96,000 cases of illness since 2017. Well, according to the CDC, one of the most common diseases from a tick is Lyme disease, and we're heading into one of the most dangerous times of year for that disease.
In tonight's cover story, Megan Gillen shows us the symptoms you need to look out for.
So, can you make a smile? Perfect.
When it comes to Lyme disease, the symptoms are easy to miss.
Just move your eyes.
Believe me, there's fatigue. But maybe you wake up early for work.
Thank you.
There's body aches. But maybe you have 2 little ones jumping on you at home.
Good.
There's also headaches.
And again, there's symmetry.
And that's when I stopped making excuses. After a few really bad migraines where my vision became blurry, I went to see Dr. Wolf, a neurologist at GBMC.
I asked you if you were a runner, and you said yes, you had run recently. I felt it wouldn't hurt just to check for Lyme disease. I think I even asked you if you minded.
Turns out I have Lyme disease, and I am far from alone in this diagnosis. Roughly 300,000 people are diagnosed with Lyme disease each year in the United States, making it one of the fastest growing infectious diseases.
Very, very well could be.
Unfortunately for Justin Decker, he's one of them.
I just figured I'd get better.
Decker is a hospital administrator. He's a husband and father of 2 whose life has been drastically impacted by Lyme disease.
You just wake up and you kind of have to get on with your day, and push through that feeling.
It's transmitted to humans through the bite of infected black-legged ticks.
This is a adult male tick that has not fed yet, so you can see he's flat, he is not engorged.
They feed anytime it's over 40 degrees.
And this engorged male is fed because now you can see instead of being a slender, flat tick, he's swelled up.
Dr. John Alcott says Maryland is a hotbed for ticks.
But we see misdiagnoses all the time.
Especially when you don't see that classic bullseye rash.
Actually, only about 20% of the rashes look like that. The majority of the rashes don't have that, red, white kind of look to them. They're usually uniformly red or reddish blue. They are always round or oval, though.
Patients who see it are treated right away with antibiotics, but those who don't see it
Follow my finger move.
can experience neurological issues, from new and unusual headaches like I did
Keep your head still.
to facial paralysis. It can cause meningitis, possibly even irregular heartbeats if untreated. And after about 6 months, you could see swelling and inflammation in the joints.
Yeah, I've had a headache for 7 years now.
Decker is among the 10% of people that continue to have ongoing symptoms after several antibiotic treatments. He's also fatigued and had facial paralysis at one point.
Tried a lot of different treatments, acupuncture and physical therapy.
Until there is an effective vaccine for humans, there are a few things you can do to avoid being bitten. Doctors recommend if you're going to be outside for a while, wear long pants. Make sure you have long sleeves on, and you can even treat your clothes with a tick repellent that has permethrin inside. Most importantly, if you're going to be out on the trails, try to stay on the trail and avoid some of the high grass areas. And when you come inside, check for ticks.
Feel in high-risk places like behind your knee that you can't easily see, under the arm. Yeah, the ticks like to go to places like that, and you can feel the ticks sometimes. The sooner you get a tick off, the less likely it is to transmit Lyme disease.
If you find one, use tweezers to gently pull it off your skin.
It's not as easy as you think because the tick mouthpiece has barbs on it like a fish hook, so you really kind of got to gently but firmly pull it away.
A tiny bite causing a big problem.
The epidemic's only spreading. It's not contracting. It's not even stabilizing.
I'm Megan Gilland, Fox 45 News.
Well, in case you're wondering, Lyme disease got its name from Lyme, Connecticut, where the epidemic started. Since then, it's been spreading geographically.
In fact, we live in one of 14 states that accounted for 95% of all reported cases in 2015.
And today we sure got a sense that the weather is changing.
It is changing indeed, and for the better. Here's meteorologist Vetus Reed. Vetus?
Well, it's nice and clear here, but where the thunderstorms are rocking are out west. In fact, let's take an image right now. We're going to look at live video. This is coming in from KSHB Storm Chaser that is moving out there, and look how vivid that lightning is. It is just ripping apart out there, and those are active tornado warnings also associated with that front moving in towards just west of Kansas City. And this is going to be a problem for them for tonight, tomorrow, and then even into the next day. About 3 days of severe weather that are going to be out over the plains. So here's a look at those storms. You can see all that lightning in those embedded in those storms. Those dark shaded areas are hail cores, and then also rotation where there's active tornadoes. And you can see Topeka, Kansas, and Kansas City, as these are active severe thunderstorm warnings and some tornado warning boxes there. And this is stretching up just east of Omaha and Waterloo up there towards Iowa. So we're definitely seeing strong storms that are going to continue to shift to the east. We're looking at this being the bullseye for tonight, but it looks like all that shifts further east for tomorrow. It will be a big story for severe weather, especially right up in this area here. That's going to be the bullseye for high chance or high probability of tornadic activity. Back here at home, we are clear. Looking at clear skies tonight. Another beautiful one out there, nice and mild. Tonight down to about 53. Looking at cool temperatures. Tomorrow, it's going to be beautiful. I'll have a closer look at that coming up.
All right, Vetus, thank you. You can access the latest information when severe weather hits on your mobile phone. Download the Fox 45 weather app. Search for WBFF in your app store.
Still ahead on Fox 45 News at 10.
It was hard. This is the most pain I ever endured in life.
A mother's pain, a reflection of the violence in Baltimore. Despite billions of dollars spent in the city, it continues to struggle with crime. In 10 minutes, a special investigation into the public safety threats plaguing our city.
Don't look for junk inside of vending machines operated by Baltimore County. The future of snacks means eating something healthy when you're hungry.
And caught on camera, a driver heading into oncoming traffic. Why he isn't facing any charges tonight. We have breaking news in Baltimore County. Police are on the scene of a shooting in Parkville. Here is a live look at the scene right now. You can see crime tape around a house there. This happened on Wentworth Road less than an hour ago. We've just learned that a woman was shot. No word on her condition. Of course, we will bring you more information as soon as we get it.
A scary scene outside of Orlando when a driver is caught going the wrong way into oncoming traffic.
He is in the middle of traffic driving the wrong way.
That's a social worker with children in the car on the phone with 911. The person recording followed that driver for more than 2 miles before confronting him. He turned onto another road after the encounter.
I'm like flabbergasted, mind blown that this guy, had made no attempt to try to fix his mistake.
He had no recollection of the video upon viewing. They actually showed it to the individual, and he had no recollection of that incident.
The driver claims he didn't remember because of a medical condition that can cause memory loss. No charges were filed, but that driver has been ordered to take a driver reevaluation test.
Bystanders rushed to the rescue after a fiery crash on a Los Angeles freeway. Look at this. A driver gets trapped after being hit by a tractor trailer. Good Samaritans had to cut through concrete slabs that spilled from the truck. They were able to pull the driver out despite the flames surrounding his car. Authorities say he suffered burns to 80% of his body, but is expected to survive. 2 additional victims are listed in critical condition. The truck driver claims the accident was caused by another driver cutting him off.
A massive wildfire consumes central Arizona, the complications making the sweeping flames difficult to contain.
Romaine lettuce infested with E. coli. It continues to be a huge threat. Important information for identifying the products that could make you sick.
He would talk about the violence every day. Like things like, Ma, if you don't get us out this city, I'ma die. I know I'ma die.
Crime out of control in Baltimore. A shocking amount of money spent on public safety and the stunning impact it has on the people living here. Tonight, Fox 45 launches Operation Crime and Justice to go beyond the numbers of the violent epidemic in Baltimore.
And you're looking live at the scene in Timonium tonight, where firefighters are still dealing with that major fire that broke out hours ago. This is at the Old Macaroni Grill. We'll update this breaking news coming up.
And it looks like those temperatures will cool off just a little bit tonight, down into the low 60s and mid-50s. It looks like we're bumping up into the 70s for your morning commute. It's going to get even warmer tomorrow afternoon. A look ahead in your forecast next.
Each year, more than $500 million is spent in the city of Baltimore on public safety, from police department to the state's attorney's office to jails. But Baltimore still has one of the highest crime rates in the country.
That's why Fox 45 is launching Operation Crime and Justice, a long-term investigation that goes beyond the news of the day to uncover why public safety continues to be threatened year after year. Crime and Justice lead investigative reporter Joy LaPola shows us the human toll crime takes on the city. Joy?
Kai and Jennifer, there are a lot of statistics that are used to describe crime in Baltimore, but every crime, every criminal, and every victim leaves a mark on dozens of people across the city. And for many people, violence and its effects go back generations. In Baltimore, you see numbers, hear numbers.
1, Corinne Bonner. 2, Josh Facobian.
Number 34, Owen Creighton.
45, Montrell Rivers.
Measuring where?
82, Paul Smith.
Who?
176, Claude Miles III.
And how many?
342, James Woodard.
661, Keith Patterson.
It can feel like too many to count, too many to bear.
1,000, Daniel Mulhausen.
Behind each number is a story.
1,093, Gilbert White.
Of a sister, father, a son.
216th murder.
Murder 216 in the year 2016. Amani Grossman, Latresa Scaff's son. Latresa raised a family here along Bonaparte Avenue in East Baltimore. It may not have been sweet, but it was home.
They've seen people get beat up real bad. Like I said, bodies. They hear gunshots. They couldn't go outside and play.
Her oldest son, Amani, grew up here.
It was like the life of the family gatherings. Make everybody laugh.
But that brightness began to fade as a teen.
He would talk about the violence every day. Like things like, Ma, if you don't get us out this city, I'ma die. I know I'ma die.
Despite those fears, Amani remained resilient. That's Amani making a game-winning basket in a middle school game.
That ended up being one of those games where everyone rushes off the court and everyone's cheering and all that stuff. So that's probably the first memory that I have, or when I think of Amani, that's probably the first memory that I have.
Pablo Koropecki coached Amani in middle school.
He was the kind of player, you know, coaches dream about.
Away from school, though, Amani faced threats and unshakable street violence. At 13, his life was threatened at knife point, and he never shook what he witnessed while shooting dice one day along his block. Amani described to doctors how, quote, a guy came up and blew another guy's brains out. Doctors later diagnosed Amani with PTSD.
It's really bad and sad.
Amani's evaluation followed one of his 3 arrests by the age of 17. The cases involved an armed robbery, a carjacking, and an alleged sex offense. Prosecutors dropped the charges in all but one case. Amani pled guilty in the sex offense. A judge sentenced him to 10 years but suspended 9 of them. One of his childhood friends was a co-defendant in that case.
That's what kept drawing him back into the city, his childhood friends.
That's why Latricia sent Amani to Virginia to earn his high school diploma.
While he was away in school, he lost maybe like 3 of his close friends to gun violence. So that's when I got nervous about him coming back to Baltimore.
Latricia moved out of the city and into the county in hopes of providing a safer life for her family.
Well, he didn't like it out here. He said it was nothing to do. He was bored.
By 2016, Amani was back in Baltimore with the same childhood friend charged in that sex offense case. This video shows them together on September 14th. Seconds later, shots rang out. Amani's childhood friend stood by and watched as he was murdered.
I felt it. It was horrible. This is the most pain I ever endured in life.
Since the beginning of 2015, almost 1,100 people have been murdered in Baltimore. A single number that doesn't provide a true reflection of the total number of mothers, sons, and friends left wounded.
It made you look in the mirror a little bit and figure out, like, where are we kind of failing them?
Amani's bed just as he left it that day.
I just hug the pillow sometimes because I can still smell them.
In the corner is his jersey.
He loved basketball.
A gift from the team.
He's at the end, number 2.
I was picturing him going out of state to college, playing professional basketball.
A similar picture now hangs in the gym at Amani's middle school, behind the team's bench.
He's very much alive. In different places I've written down his name and things like that. So, you know, whenever I'm having a bad day, you might open the book in your notebook and you kind of see him, see his name there, and you kind of remember that there's a reason why we're here and there's a reason why we're doing what we're doing.
This has got to stop being our meeting place.
This is one of the few spots where families don't want to meet. It's been just over a year and a half since Amani's murder, and family members are gathering again to see Amani's newly placed headstone. It's just one of the grave sites Latricia plans to visit.
Look at my brother.
Loss in this family has been passed down generation to generation.
Oh, my baby.
Latricia's brother was shot and killed in Baltimore in 2003. Her father murdered in 1981.
I don't even know what to do at this point in time. It's too much. Something has to be done with these murders.
Baltimore has lost more than 1,000 people over the past 3 years to murder. Latricia's lost 3. But there's one new number, Amani's son. A child with the same potential as those who've come before him.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
A hope Latricia holds on to.
Lead us not, but deliver us from evil.
And prays this next generation will follow a different path. We told you Amani's story tonight to put a face on the numbers we hear every day. We in no way are trying to minimize the crime Amani pled guilty to committing. But behind each killing in the city, a lifetime of potential has also been lost.
Well, Joy, what stories can we expect from Operation Crime and Justice?
On Thursday, we're looking into a case where a man is accused of committing murder while serving a sentence for assaulting a police officer. The suspect was allowed to serve time on weekends, but was allowed on the streets during the week. Now, if you have a story idea you'd like us to look into, or if you have an example of how the system is working or failing, call our Operation Crime and Justice tip line at 410-662-1456. You can also email us at crimeandjustice@foxbaltimore.com. I'm Joy LaPola, and this is Operation Crime and Justice.
And back to breaking news out of Baltimore County tonight.
The fire at the site of the former Macaroni Grill in Timonium. Our Keith Daniels is there live. Keith, what's the latest? What can you tell us?
Well, Jennifer and Kai, let me take you right to the corner of this building. Now, since we last saw you about 30 minutes ago, firefighters have been concentrating on this area. Now, there were small flames jumping from that spot, and that's what crews are doing now. They're monitoring those hot spots. Now, earlier, there were huge flames jumping from this building. Some of the pictures, including these new images sent from our viewers. Now, the chief on the scene here tonight says the collapsing roof and walls forced crews to attack this blaze from the outside. Now, there were no injuries. Good news, they say. Meanwhile, the cause of this fire remains under investigation. Now, we are back here, live here on the spot here, where you see many of the crews have left. This was a 2-alarm fire. They say they brought in several firefighters to enable them to rotate crews in and out to keep their crews fresh, because they say earlier it was rather hot here, warm temperatures here, so they wanted to be able to rotate those crews, and they did successfully. So some of the crews have left, but again, they're still here monitoring those hot spots. We're live now in Timonium. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
All right, Keith, thanks for bringing us up to date.
All right, time to get a check of our weather meantime.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed with an update on our forecast that's going to definitely include some warmer temperatures. Vitas.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing things continue to warm up across the area. It was a beautiful day today. We had plenty of sunshine, dry conditions out there, and as we go through the next few days, what you need to know is that we'll continue to stay dry until we get towards the weekend. We have a chance for some showers that are going to push through the area, and it'll cool us down a little bit, but we are definitely seeing a big warm up. Skycam looking at the Inner Harbor. We have a beautiful night out there, a nice full moon once again across the area. You can kind of see the reflection of the moon that's rising on the Inner Harbor right here, and it's absolutely a beautiful night out for an evening walk or whatever, just a light jacket needed. Looking at 69 degrees out at BWI Airport, looks like it's going to feel pretty good getting into the evening hours as far as those temperatures, holding 70 degrees up in Westminster, 64 in Columbia, 65 in Chestertown, down in Easton 64 degrees, and most of these areas hit 80 to 82 degrees today. It was a nice warm day, but we'll continue to add to those numbers tomorrow with even warmer temperatures. So it looks like we're going to see even a warmer day tomorrow and for the next day. So it looks like the southerly flow coming in is going to continue to keep us on the warm side. It's a light wind out there, anywhere from about 3 to 5 miles per hour, and it looks like we'll see a light breeze tomorrow as well. On the big weather map, you can see nothing going on as far as any precipitation in our neck of the woods. Looking good here in the mid-Atlantic. High pressure anchored down to the south of us, still helping bring up that warm air over the Midwest. Where the problem is where this low is, and that's stretching across that warm air. It's trying to battle in the atmosphere, that cool air behind it, firing up severe storms, especially just west of Kansas, northwest of Topeka, and then looking over parts of Iowa into Wisconsin. So this is the area that's going to have a problem tonight. But then for tomorrow, all of this shifts a little bit east, and there's going to be another round of severe weather over the midsection of the country. We're looking at enhanced chance for severe storms stretching through Kansas, Wichita, down to Oklahoma City in the orange shaded area. But this red shaded area is the heightened area, the moderate chance, and that means a very good potential to get tornadoes, and that's including a major metropolitan area of Kansas City, and then north of it, a suburb there up at St. Joseph, a smaller town there. But nonetheless, folks in Kansas City have to keep an eye to the sky for tomorrow, especially with the potential for tornadic activity. Now, the severe threat stretches from Chicago all the way down to Dallas, so that doesn't mean that they won't see other areas that have severe weather, but definitely that is going to be the bullseye. We'll be talking about severe weather tomorrow. Here's what happens here. Just nice, quiet conditions. We're staying nice and dry tonight. Tomorrow, another warm push of air coming up out of the south. That's going to take our temperatures into the mid to upper 80s, and it looks like the showers still stay north. It's kind of moving laterally across parts of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. They will get showers, but we'll start to see this rain move closer. This is looking at Thursday at 5 p.m. We're still dry, and then as we get into Friday, we're looking at showers just to the north, and as we get into Friday night into Saturday morning, that's when we could probably get some showers or thunderstorms pushing through as we go into Friday night into Saturday morning. Then it starts clearing out by Saturday morning and through the afternoon. So your extended forecast looks pretty warm. 87 degrees tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. 88 on Thursday, absolutely beautiful days. Friday, we have some sunshine starting out with clouds moving late. We'll get some evening rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder Friday night into Saturday morning. That front pushes through and cools us down to 78 on Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at 75 degrees with evening rain moving in, and we start off the work week mid-70s. So it looks like we're sitting pretty good temperature-wise for the next several days, definitely above normal for the next 3. Back to you.
Thank you, Vetus. Lettuce that can make you very sick. Tonight, new concerns about romaine. Why it may be even harder for you to tell what's safe and what isn't. An expanded warning you need to know about.
The danger of packaging, a warning from the FDA about liquid nicotine. The agency says some of it looks like much of the things kids consume. The surprising number of kids who've been exposed and how to avoid a mistake.
And coming up on the late edition at 11, taking a new approach to the opioid epidemic, the determined effort to create a vaccine.
Questions that Special Counsel Robert Mueller reportedly wants to ask President Trump have been leaked. Nearly 50 questions were revealed concerning Russian election meddling and possible obstruction of justice. President Trump blasted that leak this morning, but some experts are split on the motive. Some believe the leak is an attempt to put pressure on the president, but others say it hurts the probe's integrity.
Because it hurts Mueller's investigation, either someone inside Mueller's team wants to hurt him, or much more likely, one of Trump's lawyers leaked this to the New York Times to damage the Mueller investigation.
And just breaking tonight, the president's ex-attorney says Mueller has considered issuing a subpoena to President Trump.
A warning is being issued for e-cigarette packaging that targets children. You can see the liquid nicotine items on the left. They look very similar to products like candy and juice boxes on the right. The FDA says at least 8,000 young children have accidentally have drunk the fluid since 2012. Children exposed to even a small amount of nicotine can suffer seizures, respiratory failure, or fatal heart problems.
For U.S. consumers, identifying romaine lettuce infected with the E. coli bacteria may be harder than previously thought. Tainted lettuce has left 98 people sick in 22 states, including Maryland's neighbor to the north, Pennsylvania. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is warning the public not to eat romaine grown in the Yuma, Arizona region. But some labels don't list where the produce was grown. The CDC says avoid whole, chopped, and bagged romaine. Also, don't eat salad mixes containing the lettuce.
Junk food junkies who work for Baltimore County will soon have fewer choices. County Executive Kevin Kamenetz has signed an executive order which mandates that 100% of all items purchased from county-controlled vending machines must meet healthy nutrition standards.
This is going to improve our health, save lives, and also save taxpayer dollars in avoided health costs.
Well, some new items in vending machines are simply smaller packages, which would reduce the caloric intake. We continue to follow breaking news in Baltimore County. Police on the scene of a shooting in Parkville. We've learned that a woman was shot. No word on her condition. We will bring you more information as soon as we get it.
And back to that wicked weather moving through the Midwest right now. Here's a live look from our exclusive team of storm tracers and trackers. You can see lightning in the distance right now. At least one station in Kansas City reports that a tornado did in fact touch down, and there were 6 tornado warnings. No word yet on any damage. The storm chaser right now is somewhere west of Manhattan and Topeka, Kansas.
All right, time now for a detailed look at our weekend forecast.
Here's meteorologist Vetus Reed. Vetus?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see pretty nice conditions getting into the weekend. Warm temperatures, especially for the next few days. But as we get closer towards the weekend for Friday, it looks like we'll have a few changes coming in Friday night. So it doesn't show right here, but we'll see Friday with some sun, clouds, and 86 degrees. But then by Friday night, there will be a little rain that moves through, and it may linger early morning, Saturday morning. But the sun will come back out on Saturday, looking at a little bit cooler air at 78 degrees, a little breezy. And then Sunday, some rain possibly late in the evening. But it looks like we'll get some sun as well. well, 75 degrees. So remember, Friday we see most of the day with some sun, but by Friday night, if you have plans Friday night out around town, you may need umbrellas because there'll be some rain moving in from the west. Back to you.
All right, Beatus, thank you. Do you know someone who's making a difference in your community? You can recognize their efforts by nominating them for Fox 45's Pay It Forward. They could win $500. Go to foxbaltimore.com and click on Contest to read the rules and tell us what someone is doing to improve the lives of people around Baltimore.
Coming up on the late edition at 11, we'll continue to follow breaking news out of Baltimore County. That's where crews are still on the scene of a stubborn fire at the old Macaroni Grill.
And decision time draws near on the Iran nuclear deal, what the president and the rest of the world have to consider.
The Orioles try to get their West Coast swing underway on a good note. Early highlights from Anaheim next in Sports Unlimited.
Drops the bat down. We're talking about just the presence of having Trumbo back in the lineup.
The Ravens' newest receiver has reported for duty. Last week, they signed Willie Snead just before the avalanche of draft information. Today, we got our first look at him in the flesh as he reported to the Owings Mills complex. Snead became a Raven when the New Orleans Saints last week declined to match the Ravens' offer of 2 years, $7 million. Snead's part of an almost complete makeover of the receiving corps. And along with Michael Crabtree and John Brown, he represents a new era. Says he's been very aware of the Ravens' efforts in that area.
When Ozzie and the front office cleaned out the room of receivers, and you know, just the opportunity of a guy being a 1, 2, or 3. I believe in myself, and I know I can be a game changer at any moment. And just given those opportunities, I could prove that.
Orioles on the West Coast, 1st at 3 in Anaheim. Angel starter Nick Trampiano's having his way with the Birds early. Top of the first, Machado on second. Got Adam Jones waving at nothing. Mark Trumbo's off the disabled list, appearing in his first game this season. Trampiano not impressed at all. Have a seat, son. Right now, no score in Anaheim after 2. The Caps beat the Penguins tonight 4-3. They now lead that series 2-1. Our Prep Player of the Week coming up at 11:30 as Sports Unlimited continues.
Thank you, Bruce. Did you know you can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo? We now deliver your local headlines and your forecasts in less than 2 minutes. The news is updated several times a day. If you have an Amazon device, just say Enable Fox 45 Baltimore.
Local legend Cal Ripken Jr. is joining forces with a Virginia fast food chain ahead. The partnership helping provide mentorship and safe play spaces for children.
Baltimore's Iron Man is teaming up with a Virginia fast food chain.
And it was a brand that spoke to me when I was a kid.
Orioles legend Cal Ripken Jr. is now the face of Roy Rogers. As part of the endorsement deal, the Baseball Hall of Fame inductee will appear in commercials celebrating the chain's 50th anniversary.
The restaurant will also sell a commemorative cup benefiting the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation, providing mentorship, life skills, and safe play spaces for children.